Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Shed of Dread, and welcome to another video coming live from the old Shed of Dread. And welcome. Now, I found this article that come up today from The Guardian. I was going to do it as a video, but I thought, you know what? Let's just do it as a live stream, just for a change, just for a little bit of a thing. Right then, so I'm going to read it out from here, and we'll see it. I'm not ready, but it's going to be interesting because apparently this guy, Martin Belam, reckons he knows what could possibly save Doctor Who and what Russell T Davies needs to do to actually save it. So this will be interesting from somebody who probably never even watches the show. But in any case, we shall carry on. So as I said, it's from The Guardian. It was published on Friday at 4 o'clock. Well, hello, Charlotte, and shall we see what pearls of wonderful wisdom this could be. Right then. Oh, and thanks for watching. It's nice. Any case, so let's go. So apparently it's called Ditch the TARDIS. It's a good start, isn't it? 7 ways Russell T Davies could revive Doctor Who by getting rid of the TARDIS for one. This is going to be fun. The BBC show was rebooted in 2005 to great acclaim. Yes, that was back in the days when Doctor Who was wonderful and awesome and amazing. Now the original showrunner is back to revive the show's flagging ratings. Flagging's a bit of an understatement, isn't it, mate? Yes, we would say actually right rock bottom. You can only get so lower. Hardly anyone's watching it. So here's some suggestions to get it back into action. This is going to be fun. Right then, Doctor Who is perceived to be in the doldrums. No, it's not perceived to be in the doldrums, old chap. It is in the doldrums. Hardly anyone watches it anymore, and no one cares about it. But hey-ho, what do you expect from The Guardian? Ratings are dwindling. No, they've nosedived. In fact, gone off a cliff and are in free fall. But hey-ho, here we go. And the show has started to feel outclassed by sci-fi contemporaries such as WandaVision. Although, to be fair, it is outclassed. And The Mandalorian. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an article on sci-fi. So what I need to do is find 2 other current sci-fi shows and put them in. I mean, don't mention The Expanse, of course, which shits all over it, but it doesn't matter. It's a far cry from being the BBC's jewel in the family drama crown, as it was in 2009 when BBC One's Christmas idents were all based around David Tennant hitching his TARDIS to some flying reindeer. Yeah, back in the day when Doctor Who was great and everybody tuned in to watch it. Oh, and when we used to have Christmas specials, because we didn't have them before. We've lost them now because, of course, it's too much like hard work or something, isn't it, chipballs? But for its 60th anniversary next year, the show's acclaimed screenwriter Russell T Davies is returning as showrunner. Yay! Well, we'll see. Still got my little doubts about it, but that's for another video. And hopefully revive the fortunes of the series he once turned into a roaring success. Right, ready for this? This is what he needs to do to reinvigorate the show. Are we all sitting comfortable, ladies and gentlemen? Double down on fun and adventure, because that's slowly lacking. Leave the grim, gritty reboots of beloved characters to the DC movies. Okay, so you've gone from Doctor Who to DC. Interesting. Okay, and get back to the programme's adventure roots. Would be nice, wouldn't it? It was originally a show featuring the action with Doctor Who, not about the character. Wow, okay. Please, in one sentence, show that you've never watched the show by saying it's all about the Doctor. That's why. Oh my God, this is going to be hard. We don't need to know what the Doctor is weighed down with angst and having lived for centuries. What? Hey? No. What? That's the Pope. Oh God! As I said, I haven't read this, and I'm already wishing I hadn't, and I'm already wishing I hadn't had to make you lot suffer it as well. But I'll take it so you don't have to. Oh, we just need to know that something somewhere is wrong and needs putting right. Well, yes, that is Doctor Who. So translation, stop messing about with Laura and just do adventures. Clearly, because why would we want to do that? This guy's good, you know. Perhaps he's got a job as a show rider, runner, writer, whatever. In any case, do we have such things anymore in Doctor Who? And that the Doctor and their friends are in danger. Well, thanks to Chris Chibnall and his timeless child, the Doctor never is in danger, ever again, because of course he could just, or she could just regenerate whenever he feels like it, and it doesn't matter. And because, you know, that's why the timeless child is a load of waste of time and space, ladies and gentlemen, because it destroys that fact. The Doctor can't be in danger because the Doctor can regenerate infinitesimally and has regenerated infinitesimally, apparently. But of course, the timeless child was such a wonderful idea, wasn't it, Chris? And that they're going to get at it by using brains rather than brawn. Or if it's Jodie Whittaker, by getting into trouble, grabbing a Sonic and going, yeah, the problem solved. Or just running away and letting somebody else deal with the problem. Or just turning her back on somebody who's got a problem, wants to talk to you about cancer. Yeah, okay. So that's number one. Number two, decide that less is more. Oh, God, here we go. The BBC's budget for Doctor Who is minuscule compared to the amount that Amazon, Disney Plus, Netflix, et al. Could throw at episodes for their sci-fi and fantasy shows. Okay, that's true. But Doctor Who's never had a massive budget, ever. And it's managed to produce quality for 50, well, up until recently, but it used to produce quality with literally no budget at all. So saying that is a load of rubbish. Yes, these people can throw stuff, but apparently the budget on this Doctor Who has been quite expensive. So clearly no one has no ideas. Rather than trying to compete week by week, the show should ditch the traditional series format. Oh, God, this will be good. And focus on making 2 or 3 movie-length specials each year. Wow. So the best way to solve Doctor Who is not to have Doctor Who only 3 times a year. Let's just get rid of the episodic show. And also, by the way, Doctor Who's never wanted to go toe-to-toe with anyone. No show goes toe-to-toe with any show. That's just PR and bullshit, to be fair. Absolute rubbish. That will provide the scope to expand the production budget while providing extra opportunities for publicity throughout the year. No, what you will do is people will just not bother. People will just switch off even more. At the moment, what we need to do and what Russell needs to do is go back to good episodes and build the fan base up. If you're just going to say, well, this show might be on for only 3 times a year, then people are just going to go, you know what, I can't be bothered. I mean, it's going to be a struggle in any case. And this is something that this guy clearly doesn't think about. And a lot of people don't think about. This is going to be a struggle. Doctor Who is literally down in the gutter. It's going to need something to lift it up, isn't it? And saying, by the way to lift it up is just put it on 3 times a year, plenty of time, spend it. But the thing is, going to say there'll be more money on the production budget, but the production budget would have to be still less because they'd have to spend some of the money that would be set for that for the PR to advertise a show that's only on 3 times a year. What a stupid idea. So far, 2 stupid ideas. Set it mostly in the past. Any sci-fi franchise can do a multi-universe or imagine future dystopias, but the TARDIS gives Doctor Who perhaps the unique opportunity to take the viewer into the past and meet key historical figures and witness pivotal moments of history with added alien menace. People forget in today's culture. Exactly. That's absolutely right, Charlotte. We live in a society, in a generation where the attention span is limited. You do that. I mean, I think that is why these 3 specials that they're doing now aren't going to do very well, because people are just forgetting it. It's just like, oh, it's on. And you're absolutely spot on there. Before I go any further with that, you're absolutely spot on. People won't, it just drifts off. People haven't got the attention span of goldfish anymore, and they don't remember things. I mean, most people will probably go, oh, God, Doctor Who. Oh, yeah. What? And that's why another reason why the viewing figures are going to go down. These 3 specials aren't going to do any good. I think, to be fair, the last one might do well. only because everybody is going to be tuning in to see Jodie go bye-bye, even if a regeneration is given, because it's not necessarily done so. So we'll have to wait and see. So apparently, we need to go back. The Doctor needs to go back in history to meet historical figures with Alien Menace. Again, he's never watched the show, has he? Really? I mean, it does sometimes go in the future, but it does go in the whole idea of the show is he jumps all over time. Oh, God! Did you even not bother to watch the show? That's the whole show, you idiot. But why not take it further? Pick up a companion from the 1990s or 1930s or 1880s. He's never watched the show. Clearly, he has no idea. And set the series mostly in that time period. Explore modern issues through attitudes of the past. Think Ashes to Ashes, but with monsters. Oh, God. I thought it was going to be a game and a half. Jesus, God, this bloke's never watched it. He has literally no idea what Doctor Who is all about. Oh, here we go. Next one. Ditch the TARDIS for a while. Alternative, why not force a huge story structure to change onto the writers? John Pertwee's Doctor was exiled to Earth, mostly for BBC budgetary reasons, and then he moans about, any case. But one twist on the format that hasn't been done on the TV, an overextended period of time, is a Doctor seeking a lost TARDIS. The hunt for the time machine will become the MacGuffin of the week, and we will get to see the Doctor hitchhiking their way through the galaxy on a continuous quest. So please make it 3 episodes, but now I want to make it episodical. And how are you going to do that? How will you find the TARDIS if the TARDIS is a time machine and you don't know what period of time it is in? You're literally just making it up. So I'm reading this one. I've already seen the headline for the next wonderful idea. But that's just stupid. So basically, yes, he's correct that John Pertwee was exiled on Earth, but that's beside the point. That was purely for budgetary reasons. You've got nothing to do with the story itself. They just had a problem with the budget, had a low budget, and because the writers were clever then, wrote the story to fit the situation. Unlike the writers today who can't write for toffee. I'm talking about a bloody frog on a bench stool talking. It wasn't even Kermit either. Ready for this one? You're going to love this one. A Doctor of the Week. Every week. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God. What if there was no one new Doctor? With a quick narrative device to produce an unstable regeneration, you could hire a new high-profile Doctor every single week. Imagine 13 trying to... It tried to run away. I mean, first it kicked her out because he didn't like her, and then took a while to come back. And I mean, let's be honest, the Eagle Moss toy looks like a butt plug, basically. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a ridiculous one, but unbelievable. I mean, it'd be a great comedy series, I guess. So yes, certainly it's possible to hire Hugh Grant, Judi Dench, Riz Ahmed at the TARDIS controls when you only need to persuade them to do a week's filming rather than a 3-series commitment. This 3-series commitment is another fallacy again, created by the media. Plus, you'll get all the publicity of a reveal of the new Doctor over and over again. And then people will get bored of it and people will just go, oh shit, it's gone all gimmicky, and stop watching it. That isn't going to help. And you moan about the budgetary requirements. How much do you think it's going to cost just to hire these 3 actors you've listed? You can't have a new Doctor every week. That'd be ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Next one. Aim it unashamedly at 12-year-olds because it's a kids' show, ladies and gentlemen, which is what we throw out whenever you kick up a fuss. Even though it's not a kids' show, it's an adult show that kids can watch with their parents. It's called a family show. Oh, well, it used to be a family show before it all became preachy and shit. The The curse of a long-lived fantasy franchise is that you end up with grown-up fans demanding increasingly grown-up stories, forgetting they fell in love with the idea of the show as a child. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We did grow up with it as a child, and it was quite intense adult stories. Anyone who sits there and says Doctor Who is specifically designed for children clearly has never watched it. It's designed as a family show for mama and dada and the kids to sit and watch together. It's never been a kids show. If you've ever watched the early episodes, which this guy never clearly has, if you've watched it, it can be quite A, scary, which is good, but B, quite technical, and it's quite demanding. It's not a kids show. And to turn around and say the best thing to do is aim it at 12-year-olds won't help. Because if you aim it just at 12-year-olds, they haven't, as Charlotte quite mentioned, they haven't got the attention span. They won't watch it. The only way that these franchises are watched is by people my age and younger, but continually watching it because they love the show for what it is, not aiming it. If you aim it at 12-year-olds, let's see what he says here for the rest of it. Russell T Davies could build the fan base for the next 60 years with an earlier time slot and casting a young Doctor with teenage companions to run riot in space. So basically now what you're doing is you want to turn it into a fucking Nickelodeon show. A Disney Plus pile of crap. Such shows such as the Sarah Jane Adventures. No, you don't get the right to say that and then put Sarah Jane Adventures there. No. Sarah Jane Adventures were brilliant, were cleverly written, and were entertaining. Yes, it was set at the kids' show at the kids' time, but it was not. You can't go. You want it. Teenage companions running riot and then go and say Sarah Jane Adventures. No, you don't get to say that. That's not in the same. Creeped Out and MI High have shown that the BBC can produce adventure programmes for older children with enough nods to movie pastiche, the wider world, and moral lessons to raise a smile from the adults, and providing that broader family appeal. So at the beginning of the thing, you want it shamelessly aimed at 12-year-olds, but then at the end of it, you want it as family. But what you actually want is a young Doctor with teenagers running around the galaxy causing a load of shit. And don't you dare put Sarah Jane Adventures in with Creeped Out and MI High. Really? The Sarah Jane Adventures paid homage to Doctor Who, was integral to Doctor Who. Don't you ever. That's just disgusting. Right. And then the last one, which is the one that probably will make some sense, or we'll wait and see. Do anything you want, you're Russell T Davies. Davies once described Doctor Who as the hardest show to write on television, but pitched the revival to the BBC in the early thousands as simply being about friends having an adventure in space. Okay, fair enough. Whatever form it takes in 2023, we can expect a surprise. Well, it's going to be interesting, shall we say. He told the Radio Times in February that he'd already been writing and there were things coming up that are brand new ways of telling the stories that have never ever been done before. So it just feels new. A self-renewing show, which in reality, that's the whole idea of Doctor Who. It's a self-renewing Doctor. And then he goes on to tell us that tomorrow the Sea Devils thing's going to turn up and keep us all entertained. So there you go. So that is what our friend Martin, who clearly has no idea about the show, thinks is going that Russell T Davies should do to save the show. Oh, the thing is, Russell will do what Russell wants to do. That bit at the end is correct. He will do what he wants to do because it's his show. He's going to run it his way. With Bad Wolf, who recently had been acquired by Sony, the potential is there. So them turning around and saying, oh, well, it hasn't got the budget to compete. Sony Pictures are now with it. Maybe it will have the budget to compete. You're making assumptions. What he's basically saying is make it a kid's show, make it stupid, have a Doctor every week. Don't make it episodes, but then in the next thing, have an episode, a Doctor every week. Well, you just said you wanted to make it 3 separate ones. What a mess. What a mess. As it comes to Russell T Davies, as I've said before, I'm going to keep a close eye on this because, as I said, when Russell first took over in 2005, the world was a very different place. It had very different things going on and around it. The world now is not like it was back in 2005. In fact, it's not the world it was back in 2010. It's going to be interesting to see what Russell does. First thing that's going to be important, obviously, is who's going to be announced as the 14th Doctor. We've all got our speculations. The papers come up with anyone who's ever worked with Russell T Davies. We've come out with random ones. Anyone who quits a show at the moment automatically becomes the next Doctor. Oh well, it's clearly going to be Danny Dyer's quit EastEnders. It's clearly he's going to be the next Doctor because they have no idea. No one has any idea. But how Russell T Davies selects the next Doctor and who we get for the next Doctor will give us a rough indication of where we're going to go with the show. Again, we have no idea. We're going to have to wait till 2023. But Russell, for advice, don't take any of the idea from the Guardian dude because he ain't got a clue. As long as Russell does his political commentary subtle. Exactly. But that's how Doctor Who has or used to always do or tackle social issues. It was subtle. It would get you thinking without you realising that it was happening, that it was making an impact. And that's the way you deal with it. If you take something, especially in this day and age, if you take something and shove it in somebody's face, you're going to get a reaction. And a lot of people aren't going to appreciate it. There are much, much better ways of doing stuff, and ramming it down people's throat isn't going to work, as we have ample proof of it not working at all. I don't mind. In fact, shows like this should do and address issues. They always have done and always should do, but it should be in a subtle way. It should be in a way that makes you think without you realising, that gets inside the back of your head. That's how it should be. You can put a very good political message out about absolutely anything as long as you're subtle. Because it's like everything else. Look at the things that are going on in the world right now. Instead of being still trying to work away gently and slowly in the background, people are jumping up, screaming in people's faces, and all it does is it makes people go, "No, I'm not interested." Yo, and that's how it works because people just turn off. And also remember that this is a show, like movies, like everything else. We tune into these things because at the moment life is shit. And it is, let's be honest, it's really, really hard. We've just come out of a pandemic, and now, especially here in the UK, cost of living's going up. I know it's the same in America. People are suffering. And the last thing you want to do is turn your TV on to watch a show, excuse me, that's supposed to entertain you, and all it does is remind you how shit your life is. Don't want to do that. When I go to the cinema, when I want to watch things on TV that shows like Doctor Who or Star Trek, I want to be entertained. I want to have some fun for half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever the episode length is. I want to be, or the film, 2 hours. I want you to pick me up and take me into your world and put me down there, and I can live in that world. And then when it's finished, you can pick me up and put me back in, and then I have to come out and deal with the real world. I don't want the real world rammed down my throat because we all know what we're living. It's supposed to be entertainment. And Hollywood and everywhere else has forgotten that. It's not about entertainment. Well, don't say all of it. I mean, you look at Ghostbusters Afterlife. You look at Spider-Man No Way Home. They did fan service, blatant fan service. And people loved it because you were picked up, put in a nice little wrapped up cocoon, reminding you how wonderful this little world is. And you had that escapism. That's what it's supposed to be about. You want to know what subtlety is? Watch The Expanse. The Expanse is a fantastic show that deals with all the issues that you want to deal with in a subtle way, in a way that you just don't watch and you don't care. It doesn't matter whether this character's bisexual or gay or black or whatever. It doesn't matter, because they're in the show, they're well written, and it's subtle and it's entertaining, and it takes you away and puts you in that place. That's what you need to do, Russell. Just entertain us. You can put whatever messages you want in there. You can be as subtle as you like. You can be as wonderful as you like. We just want to be entertained. We just want to be able to sit down, watch Doctor Who, and just be entertained without talks to the camera telling you how shit you are as a human being, or how sexist you are, or how racist you are, or this, that. Don't need that. Get that enough any case. Everybody's screaming at you nowadays. You don't want to any of that. Go on Twitter. 5 minutes later, trust me, every opinion's been rammed down your throat and you've called everything under the sun. We know what the real world is like. We don't need that anymore. What we need is to be able to sit down, unlike Sunday, where I know I will sit down and it's going to be, trailer looks good. I don't know, but I just want to be entertained. Just for that moment in time. That's all I want. And that's all we all want, really. If I want to watch something about real life, I'll watch a documentary. That's what documentaries are for. If I'm watching a sci-fi show, I want to be entertained. I want to be taken to that time period, that world, put there and entertained. Documentaries for real life. News for biased points of life. That's all I want. That's all we want, isn't it? Isn't that all we want? Just to be entertained? And we'll have to wait and see, won't we, ladies and gentlemen? We'll just have to wait and see what Russell gives us. As I said, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also tempered because things aren't like they used to be back in 2005 to 2010. We'll have to wait and see. And with that, I'm going to bring this stream to a close. Thank you, Charlotte, for joining me. Thank you for your little interactions. It's very enjoyable. Thank you so much. Thank you for anyone else who will then eventually watch this, hopefully on YouTube, when it goes through on its rerun. If you enjoyed this and anything else, there are some more videos coming up on the channel very shortly about Doctor Who. Yeah, I know. Well, there's a surge. There's an episode coming. Might as well try to do that. So, with that, I'm going to bring it to a close. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it and you're on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe, because that would be really, really nice. It'd be nice to get the subscribers up if I can. But that's up to you. It's your choice. If you agree with me, that's great. Put it down in the comment section. If you don't agree with me, that's fine also. We all are entitled to our opinions. That's what the world is. We just have our opinions. You should respect everybody else's opinions. If you don't agree with me, fine. Thanks for watching this far. And with that, and as always, and until the next one, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to love you and leave you.